I'm going to start with a couple key terms. You know, our business, in the IT business, we love all this jargon. And we're going to keep this talk light on jargon, but there's a few things we'll address, and these main terms. So I want to hit these up right away. These are all security-based terms, and they're newer. It's the newer style security. This is what we're going to talk about, is some different ways to do security today. I'm going to run down these very quickly. First one, we'll talk about EDR, endpoint detection. When we talk about endpoints, that really means your end device, usually your laptop, your mobile device, your tablet. This is replacing the old antivirus. So an EDR is something that detects an issue, some type of virus or malware or something anomalous, something unusual happening on your device. That means someone might be hacking it. And it's more advanced in that it notices something that's maybe doesn't actually see a real virus, but sees something out of the ordinary. And this EDR system, it comes with some type of service where someone actually responds. So it's not just a pop-up or an alert on the local device, but there's some response element in there. The next area that we're going to be talking about later is SASE. And you'll see these three S's, the SASE, the SIM, and the SOC. These are big, they all work together. And what a SASE is it's extending your security out to the edge. And when we talk about the edge, that means the end device, like the actual computing device that the user's on. In the past, we really used a perimeter security where maybe the computers themselves weren't that secure, or the way they operated weren't secure. Maybe there wasn't a very good password, or it was hard to tell if the person was really them or not. But we relied on some other firewalls or servers to protect us. Well, that model is getting turned upside down now. And what you really want to have is a secure edge, and assuming devices are everywhere now versus just the central security. That's where the SASE comes in. The SIM is a security database, basically. It's the security information event database. We all know, like any type of computer, it logs what's going on. There's some information of what's happening. Like you log into the computer, it keeps a note. This person logged in at this time. You install an update or a patch, that information's on there. The important thing about a SIM is what we want to do is we want to start correlating this information. So there's going to be a database that's separate from your device. It's going to be hosted in the cloud. It's in a separate area. That database will have information about these edge devices. It'll also have information about other things on your network, like what's going on with the network switches or the firewall or your server. And what the SIM allows us to do, correlation. So we can see there's not like an absolute signature of something going on, some type of intrusion, but something unusual is happening. We see lots of high traffic through an area, and at the same time, someone's signing into a computer they never signed in before. That information would go into a SIM and it would flag, it would pop up. And that leads to the next area, which is the SOC, the Security Operations Center. So what a SOC is it's essentially a group of staff that are monitoring your SIM database. So, and these technologies I've talked about, they all work together. So if we start back at the edge at the top, like the endpoint detection, we have some endpoint agents on computers. We've got the SASE on the devices too, which is like your firewall security. They're all sending their information to the SIM database. And you've got a remote staff that's monitoring this thing. Now, the remote staff, the SOC, this is what's really changed in the past few years. So clients that RightClick deals with, typically not like the Fortune 500 companies. These are mid-size, small and mid-size companies. And there's definite budgets involved. You can't have unlimited budget on security. Having something like a SOC in the past would be considered real luxury. These are high-level staff that are monitoring. It's expensive, and a lot of small and mid-size would forego this. Now, with modern technologies, what they've done is a lot of this service has been more automated, and the cost has come down significantly. So, like what our purpose really is to do today is to show you some of these technologies that are out here and available to more of like a mid-sized business. Last term is this GRC, government risk and compliance. This applies to you if you're contracting on a government project There's more and more requirements to follow standards. Okay, and cybersecurity is all based on standards. There's different compliance standards. They have things called CMMC or NIST or SOC, and they all have the same general requirements. Are you really identifying your users? Are you following the best practice to protect your information? And are you protecting, are you backing it up? So when you follow like proper security protocol, you're in place to comply with some of this GRC, and that can really help your business. If you have a compliance, you're a level up to be able to bid or work on certain government jobs.